Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show, and we are previewing the Vaal Classic track on the 9th of January. It is Thursday. I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well, and it is the Vaal. Let's see what's on the go before we say hello to Alistair Cohen, who's waiting on the line, as he always does for race meetings up in Highveld. And looking at the fields, race number one is to kick off at 12:25, and if you're interested in playing the big one, the pick six, you need to get on by 13:35. Alistair Cohen on the line, and after a bumper weekend down in the Western Cape, I'm going to say well done to all. I didn't watch most of it, Alistair Cohen, but I did catch the replays, and it looked fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. It was an unbelievable weekend, an unbelievable race day. It always is. And just to add a little bit of shine to it, that's pretty much all we need to do. It's a wonderful way to kick off the year. One stripe now rated 132. He's done something that Variety Club didn't do as a 3-year-old, which, I mean, obviously Variety Club's got the international CV, and there's a long way for one stripe to go. But, it was a sensational win. I thought Double Grand Slam was out the top draw as well in the Cartier Paddock Stakes. And what else really interests me is that Double Grand Slam doesn't hold an entry for the World Sports Wedding Cape Town Met at the end of the month. They've settled on the fact that the main chance Mallorca is the right route to go. But yeah, an unbelievable way to kick off the year. As for this meeting, which is due to be at the Vaal on Thursday, hopefully we have it. Obviously no racing on Wednesday. Joburg is underwater. I'd say that at the moment it's more doubtful, but we'll be hopeful anyway. And if it does happen, let's hope that there's some winners on the card for us.
Okay, let's get through it, Alistair. Race number one, 12:25, with 8 races carded. It will kick off the barport. It's over 2,400 meters and maiden place. As we bring up the field, we'll give you some betting as a guide. Number 2, Santiago's Pride, is at 18-10. Horse number 7, The Mightiest, at 15-10, and 8, Instant Attraction, is trading at 2-1. So we've got 3 horses that dominate the betting. 2 3-year-old fillies, numbers 7 and 8. The 3-year-old gelding, number 3. But just having a look at it, it looks like Wyoming could have the key to the outcome of the race.
Absolutely, Dees. He does have a very strong hand here, but I'm in the camp of the lesser fancied horse according to the market. And this is the start of the barpot. The barpot is my suggested bet, and I played quite wide in the barpot. I've only got one banker, and that comes on later on in race number 6 on the card. And my numbers here are with the 2 fillies with the light weights. Number 7, the Mightiest, 53.5, and Instant Attraction, obviously in here with 53.5 plus half, so 54 kilos on the back of number 8, Instant Attraction. I think both of them are looking for this type of distance. Let's start with number 7, the Mightiest, who would go in as my top choice over the stable companion number 3, Santiago's Pride. Santiago's Pride beat an 8-10 favourite Hollywoodbets Greyville last time, was outrun quite convincingly by Walkie Talkie. He always looked to be in a spot of bother going through the last 200 metres at Santiago's Pride. I think the Mightiest with the lighter weight will probably get the edge. She's great to get this distance. The mare went a mile and a half without any fuss whatsoever. And there was reasonable improvement last time also at Hollywoodbets Greyville behind Lady My Love. So I think if she does reach this trip, which I expect her to do, then she could be the one that they all need to beat. But looking at number 8, Instant Attraction here, Dees, she is a half sister to a horse that Ashley Fortune trained that was at her best over a mile and a half in the form of Un Deux Trois. Trent Mayhew takes the right here for Craig Mayhew. Instant Attraction runs like she'll get the trip because she kind of takes the lead and stays on one pace. She doesn't lose any of her acceleration. She's just very one-paced in the end, and that's probably what allows all the other horses to outrun her. So genetically, I think she'll get this distance. The way that she runs, she'll get this distance, and I'll make her a love chance. So 7 and 8 for me in the first leg of the barpot. I fully expect that we'll survive. In fact, with a bit of luck, we could even double up.
Okay, numbers 7 and 8 there in race number 1 for Alistair Cohen, kicking off the barpot, as he mentioned. Place accumulator will begin in race number 2. It's at 1,300 hours, 2,000 meters, and this is how it looks when it comes to the betting. Number 2, Gamer, is at 5-1, and number 3, Flag Bearer, is at 3-1. Then we have number 4, Clear the Path, at 9-2, 5, Silent Trigger, at 3-1. 7 is a scratching at the time of recording. And horse number 9, Cartagena, that is trading at 7-1. And I'm very interested to just have a comment from Alistair Cohen. I know Craig Zaki is plus a half kgs, but just watching the way she races, it could be an ideal ride for Craig because she comes from off the speed. She enjoys a nice patient ride. and I give her a chance at around 7-1. But it is the start of the place accumulator, Alistair. With 7 scratching, we got 9 runners going to post. How many horses for you?
I've got 3 horses here, D's, and with no degree of confidence. I mean, I'm pretty confident we have a chance of doubling up in the first leg. This is a matter of survival. But the big kicker here is who's going to get this trip. There are horses here that have tried the trip, not done anything. There are horses here that are trying the trip who don't suggest like they'll get the distance. And I think being an MR66 handicap, that's probably what's prompted a whole lot of trainers to experiment over this distance. For example, I can have Cartagena, although she's not in my bar pot, she wouldn't blow me away if she were to be effective here. But why is she going to suddenly be effective over 2,000 meters? Last time, although she hit the line running, for me, she was just doing her work a little bit too late. But obviously, the jockey engagement is very eye-catching indeed. I think the 2 horses that are most reliable over this trip here are 3 and 6, Flag Bearer and Angel's Wish. Let's start with number 3, Flag Bearer. He will go in as my top choice. Chase Morjan takes her out. A good fluent win last time over Silent Trigger. At least has won over this distance, and when not winning, he tends to go very close. He's a consistent horse. The yard's been informed towards the end of 2024. I don't think they've had a winner in 2025, but we are only with 2 races in on the half vault this year, so let's give Farney a little bit of slack there. Flag Bearer, well performed at this level. He's always dangerous. Number 6, Angel's Wish. He'll have no issue with this trip whatsoever. Another way of mowing. Trained by James D. Harbour's up in town. She's more speculation than confidence, because the last couple of runs don't inspire too much confidence with number 6, Angel's Wish. But at her best, she can be very, very dangerous here. I wouldn't leave her out. She could be the horse that makes things pay. Even if she didn't make the top 2, I think she'll run to the top 4. She could represent a little bit of value here. And then the horse that could be anything for me is number 2, Gamer. Raymond Danielson takes her out for St. John Grey. The fluent win of the maiden when beating Dylan's Champ. I know Dylan's Champ is still a maiden, was beaten at short odds about a week earlier, but I thought his post-maiden was a good effort. Yes, it was off a lightweight, but behind Hat Trick or Treat wasn't a bad effort at all. He's bred to also step up over this distance. He still needs to prove that. He's been over this trip once before. He finished 4th to High Q. That was a while ago. He's a more developed and more grizzled horse now. Is this 4-year-old son of Patala Palace? So I think that he can go in as well. So 2, 3 and 6 are my numbers in the second leg of the bar pot.
Well, you've given 3 numbers there by Alistair Cohen, and hopefully it is spot on, because it does look to be a tricky start to the place accumulator. The big one, the pick 6 at 13.35. You need to get on 2,000 meters the distance. It's a C division class, merit rated 84 handicap. Betting number 1, 2 miles west, 7-1. 2 quarter main at 6-1. There is some money here for number 3, Iger Sanction, and the one thing that will grab you is that Muzieni has a wonderful record with this horse, and nice to have Muzi back riding. 6-1 into 5-1. We then got number 4 DJ Junior at 6-1, 5 Katsu at 9-2, 6 Douglas Dragon is a scratching, 7 Dark Silver at 6-1, 8 Silvano Song at 5-1, and 10 Another Universe at 5-1. Just judging by the way they priced up this race, Alistair, 9-2 the field, it does paint a picture, doesn't it?
Hardest race on the card. It's the first leg of the pick 6. You'll want to go field in this leg, but I think we can go a little bit lighter later on in the card. It's hard to put a pen through any of these. I've got 4 horses in my buy pot. They are as follows: 2, 7, 8, and 9. Now, when it comes to number 2, Quartermain, there's a little bit of logic, and it might work out to be illogical, but my logic is as follows. Nobody in Joburg has been able to work this year. Quartermain ran at least a week ago. It was a reasonable run behind Tamarisk Tree over this course and distance. Tamarisk Tree, for me, would be a hard horse to beat in a race of this nature. Quartermain does mix his form. He has a propensity of putting in the odd howler from time to time, but when you look past that, he's got every opportunity. So the fitness edge, without doubt, is on the side of number 2, Quartermain. So bear that in mind. I'm actually quite keen on his chances, only because he's going to be far more fitter than anyone else in this race. Just hopefully he doesn't run flat. Then we go down the page. Number 7, Dark Silver, put up an excellent run last time behind Bacchus. We all know that Bacchus is a rapidly developing 3-year-old. I'm sure he's got feature race credentials, does Bacchus, and if Dark Silver can get that close to Bacchus, he ought to run a very nice race here. Diego de Gavea is back on board, the son of Heavenly Blue. Alec Lairds Yard has been in red-hot form over the last few months. I've got a lot of time for number 7, Dark Silver. Then on closer inspection, when you have a look around, Silvano's Song has got Celtic Rush held on the last run. It was a fluent win from Silvano's Song last time out on the Turfentine Standside track. He toyed with Flagbearer. Flagbearer runs in a race, obviously a division weaker, a race earlier, but that'll enhance the chances. For me, I thought Silvano's Song won with a little bit more in hand than just a 75. I know that he won a 76 handicap, and he got a £7 penalty, which is quite steep, especially at that type of level. But he won with contemptuous ease last time did Silvano's Song, coming back from a layoff, and he should be a fitter, stronger horse with that run under the belt. And then number 9, Celtic Rush. I'm a sucker for the son of Willow Magic. Never has the rub of the green. He takes a bit of a hold and ends up costing himself in the early stages of the race. But from draw 3, he'll get cover. I think he'll run closer to Silvano's Song this time, not necessarily turn that form around, but I think wherever Silvano's Song is, Celtic Rush will be right next to him under Kabelo Matsanyane. I've always got time for this horse, and I'll always put him into the play. He's going to repay me one of these days.
Well, that's a good point that Alistair Cohen brings up with a horse like Quartermain, and it's something that you'll possibly have to factor in when, doing your exotics and making your selections, going with racing fitness against or the lack of track work or the lack of insufficient work because of all the inclement weather about, and that could be a point to consider in race number 3 and throughout the card. Race number 4 will kick off the jackpot. It's jackpot 1 and a merit-rated 74 handicap over 1600 meters. At the time of recording, this is how it looks. Number 1, American Rebel, is a scratching. Number 2 at 5-1. This will be the betting that I'm giving you before any adjustments of the scratching of number 1, American Rebel. So I'll just read out the betting, but it will be adjusted. 2, Risky Business, 5-1. 3 at 33-10, that's Guy Alexander. Number 4, Primal Quest at 5-1. 5, Ombudsman at 5-1. And we also have another scratching of number 10, Whistle Down. That is out to the Mark Khan runner. When I initially had a look at this race, Alistair, it looks tricky, but number 2, Risky Business, again, I referred to, horse and jockey combination. When Muzi seems to get on this mare, she does go for him, doesn't she?
Absolutely. I mean, 6 starts, 4 wins in 2 places, coming back from a 63-day layoff. But I think Muzi was in the right place at the right time, like he so often is with Risky Business. I think the horse just developed and figured out how to run, how to win. And I think when coming in off a raising of the mid-50s and taking advantage of that, I think she's now worked herself into a spot of bother. I think St. John would be very pleased with the fact that he was able to get 4 wins on the trot out of the Daughter of Quirari, obviously out of the Great Mare Dance with the Devil. But I think life's getting a little bit hard for number 2, Risky Business. But with Muzi on board, got to respect her. I wouldn't write her off for the pick 6. My bar pot numbers here are 1 and 5. The reason why they're 1 and 5, and I've left out number 3, Guy Alexander, is because American Rebel's got Guy Alexander absolutely stone cold for their run on the 10th of October. Plus, I also think Guy Alexander is going to be a bit short-changed over a mile. If it was 2,000 meters, I'd probably give him the benefit of the doubt. So number 1, American Rebel. If you do think number 3, Guy Alexander's got a chance, American Rebel's got him held. His last run was 8.
Ali, number 1's out. I just had a look at it now. That's no more. So at 7:20, that was scratched. So that's out. That is out. Okay. So maybe you rethink now with your selections.
Okay, well then on your advice, let's go with number 2, Risky Businesses back up then with number 5, Ombudsman, because at the moment we're stuck in with number 5, Ombudsman. Sean Terry trains, Craig Zaki takes a ride. Draw 1 going to be a big advantage. Last time around was much stronger. He was well beaten by Potberry, but he's got form to horses that I think would be very effective here, the likes of Confederate and Let's Play Poker. He was tried in the Betway Graham Beck, might have bitten off more than he could chew, but I think he's coming to hand now. It's also his first run over a mile in quite a long time. He's won from 1 over this distance. The Terry yards come to hand as well. So number 5, Ombudsman, is the horse that I'm going to lean towards. But now with number 1, American Rebel coming out, number 2, Risky Business does count as some sort of backup with Muzi back on board.
Okay, we are recording the show a bit earlier than normal, and that was a scratching just shortly ago at 7:20 on Wednesday morning. So let's move on to race number 5. It's a novice handicap over 1,450 meters. Bring up the field, have a look at the betting. Number 1, Struan Sky at 7-1. Horse number 3 is Sutherland at 28-10. Number 4, Salute the Flag at 4-1. 5 is Press on Regardless, that is at 4-1. Then we got number 6, One More Star at 33 to 10, along with number 7, Corrupt at 33 to 10, and it is double figures the balance. Whilst it's a small field that go to post here, there's some nice horses, some progressive types here, Alistair.
Yeah, absolutely, Deez. I mean, it's a race that I hope I haven't left something out there, because I've only got 2 horses in my bar pot. They are number 6 and 7, One More Star and Corrupt. But if you were to throw Sutherland at me, and if I were to motivate Salute the Flag, they wouldn't be out of their place. They wouldn't be without their arguments for. Probably got more fours than against those 2 horses, but I have lent with, as you say, the progressive and the likely improvement that these 2 horses are going to make. I want to start with number 6, One More Star, because at least he doesn't come off a 180-day layoff. This half-brother Tamal Moose won a good race last time. He beat Pioneer Square. Pioneer Square is still a maiden, yes, but all his other form lines have produced winners. Ryan Munger takes her out for Sean Terry. There's obviously some sort of association with Ryan and DJ Jazzy D, who obviously has a share here with Mr. Frank. And I think the more this horse races, the better he'll be. When I saw him in the parade ring last time out, and he's what you'd expect him to look. I mean, he's a half-brother to Mal Moose. He's a big, handsome, strapping, well put together son of One World as number 6, One More Star. And I think that he's going to develop. And I think in 6 months' time, CRS Racehorse might be a little bit of a stretch, but certainly a lot better than a one-time winner of a rating of 86, number 6, One More Star. I think he's going to come into his own. He could have credentials of perhaps a Derby trial from there. And then number 7, Corrupt, is related to all those long-distance horses trained by Fabian Habib, the Out of Your Leagues and all those Derby winners that Fabian had as 3-year-olds. Corrupt put up a very nice debut, didn't beat a hell of a lot. Kalish Cyborg obviously ran second. That's still a maiden as Kalish Cyborg. Coming off a layoff, fitness needs to be taken on trust, but this extra distance is bound to help, and the noises and the sounds coming out of the Van Vuren yard have always been positive about this horse. So number 7, Corrupt, has to go in, has to be respected. Right now he's got the reputation, but he does need to prove it.
Okay, just a comment on number 3, Sutherland. He was tested last time out, and it was a good test for him in that B division class, and I must tell you that all the connections were very happy with that run, and he answered a lot of questions. The form line is held up, and they're quite confident with number 3, Sutherland, to run a big, bold race there in race number 5. Race number 6 is a Fillies and Mare 77 divided handicap over 1,200 meters, and this is how it looks. Number 1 at 7 to 1. Horse number 2, that's Mixed Bomb, at 7 to 2. Number 3, there she goes at 7 to 2. 5, Boom Boom, at 4 to 1. There is some money about for an outsider here. Number 5, Midnight Fusion on Hollywoodbets, 14 to 1 into 10 to 1. 6, Take Your Place at 4 to 1. And it's double figures the balance. When I looked at it, I was leaning towards possibly the nearer form line to follow with number 2, Mixed Bomb, and number 6, Take Your Place.
So Deez, here's my banker in the bar pots. I'm surprised that you're telling me she's a 4 to 1 shot. Number 6, Take Your Place. I'm taking that nearer form line at face value, and I'm going to make her the banker on my card. I thought that she was a roughly 2 to 1, 5 to 2 shot. This daughter of Bezrin, well-related formation, was a double-figure winner. She was particularly prolific on the Vaal sand. But this is why I like Take Your Place. I like the extra distance. I like the extra furlong. She hit the line very strongly last time when there was an alarming drift when finishing second behind Nera. On that run, she finished in front of Micker's Bomb. Micker's Bomb is type of salt-of-the-earth horse who's always going to be respected and have a chance at this type of level. Micker's Bomb's got absolutely no reason to turn that form around with half a kilo for nearly 2 lengths in it. So I think Take Your Place will retain that type of advantage. Over her, Cabello Mazziniani's ridden her twice. Have been 2 good runs. Penultimate start came against Boys when finishing 2 3/4 lengths behind Big Boy Bruce. She's a model of consistency. I think that this is definitely the first time that she's run at this type of very shallow level of Fillies and Mares 77. And I think with this type of weight, that she'll be a very, very hard horse to beat. So this is where I'm nailing my colours to the mast. I think she's got a little bit more improvement to come than anyone else in this race. Obviously, just being a one-time winner, I know she's a well-raced one-time winner, but typical St. John Grey, she could still take a bit of time. She might have been taking a bit of time to come into her own, and now she could be at that level where we see some good consistent performances from number 6, Take Your Place, that gets her into the number 1 box a few more times. So there we go. That's where I'm setting up my stall. 6, Take Your Place, banker and all bet. Surprised that she's 4 to 1, and if I have a bet on the nose on the card, it will be on her.
Okay, 4 to 1 and a banker in everything. Number 6, Take Your Place. Some confidence coming through from Alistair Coing. Race number 7 is a Fillies and Mares 100 divided handicap. It's over 1,200 meters and a nice average rating of the entire field at a 95 quality. Number 1, Just Be Lacquer at 7-2. Number 2, One Fell Swoop at 4-1. Number 3, Andy's Girl at 11-2. 5, Bequena at 9-2. 6 Pointer at 4-1. 7 is Forever in My Dreams at 4-1. It's double figures, the balance. Alistair, I like a horse here. You like a 4-1 shot in the previous race. I like one here. But I need to eliminate a horse that I make a big danger, and that's number 1, Just Be Lacquer, who is coming off a lengthy break. So I don't know how it is, match fitness and racing fitness, with number 1, Just Be Lacquer. But the runner that I like here is number 2, One Fell Scoop. Too much. I like this horse compared to the form line that she brings into the race, to what she meets. I think it looks like the ideal opportunity.
So let me go to number 1, Just Be Lacquer. Her last workout was very, very good. The only problem is her last workout was a little bit further back than what we would have liked. She has a winning chance. Put it like this: we think she'll run into the top 3. Number 1, Just Be Lacquer, if she just hasn't lost a little bit of that fitness that was put into her just before the rains come. But she'll run nicely. There's some serious plans for number 1, Just Be Lacquer, going forward. She suffered a minor injury after Hollywoodbets Durbanville when she beat Sharpolia in impressive style. Obviously not ideal, but maybe that was a blessing in disguise going into her 4-year-old campaign. Like I said, there are plans. This was not her final, but she's working. Her last workout was definitely good enough to give her a lot of respect in this race. I do agree that number 2, One Fell Swoop, is the horse they all need to beat. Third run after a race, and it's going to Hollywoodbets Scottsville. She hasn't quite been the same horse, but it looks like that she's coming to hand. Just remember that in the middle stakes, obviously fillies do get a slight weight advantage according to the best weighted column, but she ran okay behind Passenger Power, and I'd venture to say that she still needed that run. Draw 1 over 1,200 meters on the Vaal Classic track is going to help her to no end. Craig Zaki takes her ride. He's won on this daughter of Lancaster Bomber before, and I can see your angle, and I do make her the horse they all need to beat. The other horse that I do have a lot of time for is number 4, Simply Majestic. One can't lose sight of the fact that she's a stakes winner. She won the Pretty Polly Stakes at the end of April when she beat Famous Lady. Although there were no champions in that race, her ratings come down ever so slightly, has number 4, Simply Majestic, and I do have some respect for her. So for me, there's 3 winning chances. Andy's Girl, I think she's going to be undone by this 1,200 meter. It looks like she's probably prepping for something in the future. I'm sure Bequena will run in the feature race that has now moved to Saturday. The others, I suppose, have their pros and cons. But for me, there are 3 winning chances in order of preference: 2, 1, and 4.
Okay, imagine that. Races 6 and 7. Take your place onto One Fell Scoop. That'll be a nice double on the card. Race number 8, we close things off. 1,200 meters, merit rated 72 handicap. If you're running in the exotics, hopefully it falls into place here. Number 1, Super Awesome at 4-1. 2 is Pendragon at 7-1. Number 3, Alone Time at 9-2. We got a 28-10 shot here. Number 4, Hammy's Hero, who's had 2 runs now, and Gauteng 28-10. And number 6, Sail the Sky at 7-1. And we got number 7, Written in Stone, at 6-1. I just must pay compliments to Brett Weber with this horse, because I've followed him throughout his career. He's having his 98th start today, and he's done superb considering he was just a 50,000 Rand purchase. And he may be ready to win again as well. Number 7, Written in Stone. What's your thoughts here in race number 8?
Geez, I like 2 horses here. Look, it's a very, very trappy race, but the 2.5 horses. Let's go 2.5 horses. I want to start with number 4, Hammy's Hero. If this trip doesn't just catch him out, and I see no reason why it will, he's the horse they all need to beat. If he was drawn better, I would have tipped a pick 6, and I would have motivated him as a pick 6 banker. Draw 9 out of 10 over 1,200 meters on the Vaal Classic track. Won't be easy, but his running style should allow him to take his medicine, drop him, and do his best work at the end. So the reasoning for number 4, Hammy's Hero, is sound. His ratings come back down a pound. That's going to help him. 3rd run after a break, 3rd run in Joburg. I think that he'll go well, and with some luck in running, he can win. Number 7, Written in Stone. That's my 2nd horse, Craig Zaki. Takes a run now for Brett Weber. 98 start. What a servant he's been, this 9-year-old son of Pathwalk. In fact, I'd venture to say that he's probably close to the form of his life, this 9-year-old. So number 7, Written in Stone, also cannot be left out. Also come down a pound in the ratings. That's bound to help him ever so slightly. And the half is number 2, Pendragon. He caught me completely off guard last time, because I've timed Pendragon well when he wins. I didn't like him last time out when he won on the Vaal Classic track, and that is why I didn't actually go with him, because on the inside inside track, I think he's a better horse. There is no inside track till the end of the month, but he managed to eke out a win. And on that run, he finished in front of a Lone Time, Written in Stone, who I've just motivated, and Sail the Sky. And the weight suggests that that Pendragon still has the advantage over those horses. So if in the same form, I can see number 2 Pendragon going well. So in the pick 6, I'll probably go with the 3 horses, 2, 4, and 7. But number 4, Hammy's Hero, does stack up as the horse they all need to beat.
Okay, let's get on to your suggested bets, Alistair, as it comes up on screen, and it is on screen now.
Yep, it's the bar pot on what is going to be a very soft track at the Vaal if they do get round to it. 12 is when the first gets underway. 7 and 8, the mightiest and instant attraction, but 2, 3, and 6, Gamer, Flag Bearer, and Angel's Wish. Then got 4 horses in race number 3, 2 Quartermain, 7 Dark Silver, 8 Silvano's Song, and Celtic Rush. What I might actually do is play a swinger between numbers 2 and 8, Quartermain and Silvano's Song. I've got numbers 1 and 5 in my play in race number 4. Obviously, American Rebel is out, so if you want the favourite to do a bit of work for you, then leave number 1 American Rebel in. If not, then include number 2 Risky Business. Then on to race number 5, where I've gone 6 and 7, 1 more star and Corrupt. I'm going with the younger 3-year-olds to get the job done. And then banker number 6, Take Your Place. That's my play on the day.
Okay, Alistair Cohen in a bit of a hurry, and he is at a place with the initials LC. The clue I will give you is Shaya Dammit. So if you know it, LC, what that stands for, you can SMS me. Thanks for your time, Alistair. Enjoy.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks so much, and thanks to the team for accommodating me today.
Okay, Alistair Cohen on the line for the Vaal Classic track on this Thursday, the 9th of January. On behalf of the team, Alistair Cohen, myself, Dees Dana, and to you, the valued racing fan, if you're playing on this Thursday, have a blast, find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful day for you. Punting, until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.